Hi, Holly Graffam here, MLTI Ambassador, and today I'm going to talk about a few tips in how to organize your Google Classroom. Having a well-organized Google Classroom and putting in place some structures and protocols is what's going to help make your Google Classroom successful for you, your students, and their parents. Google Classroom has to do with the Stream tab. And what you want to do is to not clutter up your stream with classroom assignments, but just keep your stream for announcements. At the end of this video, you'll see a link to some resource pages, and there'll also be a paper on the desk back in the Tech Help classroom that will give you the ability to get into the links to show you how you can remove classroom assignments from your stream. It's on your classwork page, and you're going to organize all those assignments by topics. You can click on the Create button, and you can create various topics. My tip is to create your topics by week and by date range. And the reason that you're going to use these two protocols is that this will let you know what week in the course it was for additional semesters, or if you're going to assign this to a different course or another year. This is a lot more for long range planning. And then this actually lets the students know on the current calendar year or during the current course what the date range is that these topics are going to be organized by. For your topics, then you're going to take that same naming convention and you're going to use that as you create assignments. And there's a couple different ways that you can extend that. This is in week 1. I included the week number, the day of the week and the date, and then what type of an assignment this was. On week 2, I actually went to this kind of convention, which tells me that this is second week, the second day of the week. So this would be week 2 on Tuesday. Again, the type of assignment that it was. And then I connected it to the chapter that we were studying. But when I finally settled on a protocol that I really liked, I went with the week number, the day of the week, and what type of assignment we have. Classwork, homework, and then I had a quiz here. If this had been a test, I would have put test. I started adding some visuals to my assignments. And so what I've done is I've created an additional visual protocol so that all check marks are going to represent classwork, all stack of books will represent homework, and all targets are going to represent assessments, which would be quizzes or tests. I used something called Emojipedia to get these. In Emojipedia, you can copy different emojis and different icons, and they will represent a text character in when you're writing your assignment name in Google Classroom. You can take this even further if you want to, and you'll notice here on Tuesday, I created a handout that goes with that assignment, and I took that same naming convention, and that's the name of the assignment document. And when you assign this to each student and make a copy for each student, what'll happen is their name will also get attached to this. One other thing I want to point out is up over here on the left, you can see that you can now easily scroll through the various topic weeks. So a quick tip about Emojipedia. I create a Google Doc or a Google Slide where I list all my different emojis that I'm going to use. That way I can easily copy and paste them from that document as opposed to going to emojipedia.com and having to copy and paste from there every time. All types of assignments on my Google Classroom. That includes any classwork assignments, anything that I'm going to be handing out, anything that we're going to be working on that day in class, such as on Monday. This was a handout that I gave students. This was an in-class assignment. And the reason that I do this is because this information is linked to a Google Calendar. And when a student is missing that day or they're working from home, they still have access to everything that I am doing in class that day. So it's a really good practice to post everything that you are doing on your Google Classroom. About due dates. Every single assignment should be assigned a due date, regardless of whether or not you are collecting that work or the students are turning things in. You should always put a due date. And the reason is because this due date is what links this assignment to a Google Calendar that students have access to. And if you never put a due date on an assignment will never be late or missing. So if a student is looking to make sure that they've turned all their work in and they're looking at late or missing work, anything that doesn't have a due date will not show up in for that student. So regardless, again, on this Monday, even though this was classwork, I put a due date on here so that the student would know that this is what we did in class and it was due at the end of class. I want to share about topics and assignments is that another thing that I always add to my topic is a weekly agenda. And this agenda provides students with more details of what we're going to be doing in class each day. It has hyperlinks to the various documents and videos and things that they will need in class. And I used here a Google slide, which I was able to hyperlink things in, but you could also use a Google Doc. In the Tech Help Classroom, on a different desk, there's another video that talks specifically about creating HyperDoc agendas. And if you want more information about how to create a HyperDoc or a HyperSlide agenda, you can go back to the Tech Help Classroom and get that information. Has to do with resource material. So often we have material that we want to keep on the classroom for longer periods of time. And if you do that, what you want to do, and this sounds a little counterintuitive, but you do not want to assign a topic. If you do not assign a topic to an assignment or material, it will live at the top of your classwork page. So here I have junior scholastic instructions for students, how they can log in. They might need these instructions over a long period of time. So I'm not going to assign them a topic. They'll just sit up here at the top of my classwork page for the rest of the course. I have this topic very well organized, Monday through Friday, my agenda at the top. When you start adding assignments, the last assignment that you create always goes to the top, but you can arrange it even more like this by going over to these three little dots over here. And from here, I can take any assignment and I can move it. Well, this one can only move down, but if I go over here, I can take an assignment and I can move it up and down. And by moving assignments up and down, I can organize my topic in a much more chronological order. I hope you have found this video on organizing your Google Classroom helpful. Be sure to check out the other classrooms and the other videos that are available to you. Thank you and have a great day.